today in a comfortable seat. And that can mean that you're seated in a chair, if that's comfortable for you. You're welcome to come down to the ground like I am. I'm sitting in what's called easy pose, but you could kneel if that's more comfortable for you. The idea when we arrive to class is to feel comfortable. So comfortable clothes, comfortable temperature, not a lot of distractions. Once you've found a place to sit, it can even be like on your couch or on your bed. Once you're physically comfortable, I want you to close your eyes. And a good place to rest your hands is either on your knees or on your thighs, depending on how you're seated. But you want your hands resting comfortably so you don't have to think about them. With your eyes closed, I want you to lengthen up through your spine. So no slouching, trying to sit nice and tall so that your heart is right over your pelvis and your head is right over your heart. If you find that your shoulders are creeping up toward your ears, this is a good time to consciously roll your shoulders back and down. And a slight tuck to your chin will lengthen out the back of your neck. Now we'll shift our focus to the breath. So you guys know we try to develop an ujjayi breath in yoga. That's just a breath that has a sound to it. So as you breathe in through your nose, you'll hear the breath going up through your nose, down into your lungs. Put a pause at the top of that inhale, and then you'll breathe out nice and slow through your nose. Do that again. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. This time as you inhale, think about filling the backs of your lungs. And empty. And now can you draw your breath all the way down to the bottom of your lungs? And breathe out. One more opening breath together. Inhale. Biggest breath you've taken yet today. And let that go. You can blink your eyes open. And from your comfortable seat, you're just going to drop your right ear toward your right shoulder, stretching out the left side of your neck. You can stay right here, or you can release your left fingertips toward the ground or toward the edge of your chair if you're in a chair. And this will lengthen out the side of your neck even more. And then maybe just very, very gently rocking your chin up and down. And then notice, are you still hearing your breath? Are you still doing the ujjayi breath? Staying right here for 3. 2. And 1. Come back to center, release that hand. And then you'll drop your opposite ear to your opposite shoulder. If this is enough of a stretch for you, stay right here. If you want a little more, extend your fingertips toward the earth or the edge of your chair. And then you'll very gently, if you'd like to try it, rock your chin up and down. And breathe. Lots of breath here for 3. 2. 1. Come back to center. So next up, we're going to try something called rib rolls. This isn't really a huge movement. I'm going to demo here. As I breathe in, I'm going to draw my heart forward. And then as I breathe out, I roll my ribs back and then they come back to the front as I inhale. And then I go the other way. Exhale, ribs go back. Inhale, I roll my ribs forward. And then you just alternate going from one side to the other side. And you want to try to time this with your breathing. So that means we're not necessarily all going at the exact same pace. The slower you're breathing, the more slowly you'll go. There isn't really a wrong way to do it. What you're doing here is you're just warming up your spine. Getting it to move 360 degrees. And this is a good one, Mr. Paraso, for when you're in class. You can do this right at your desk. It's kind of a nice antidote to all the sitting we're having to do. So just a few more of these. For 3, 2, and 1. And then the last seated thing we're gonna do is a twist. So you'll take one hand, doesn't matter which one, and you're gonna cross it over to the opposite knee. And then with your back hand, you'll reach your back hand behind you to the ground or to your chair. As you breathe in, I want you to press down with your hands, lift your spine as tall as you can. As you breathe out, you'll hollow out your belly and twist toward that side. And then you're gonna hold here and breathe like you mean it. This time we'll go for 5, 4, maybe you bring your gaze all the way behind you. 3, 2, and release, come back to center, whatever side you just did. You'll take the opposite hand to your opposite knee. Your back hand reaches around behind you to the earth or to your chair. Inhale, press your spine up. And then as you exhale, twist toward the back. Breathing right here for 5. Can you hear your breath? 4, 3, getting way down deep in your belly. 2, and go ahead and release that twist. Now, being mindful and moving nice and slow, no hurry, we're going to transition to tabletop, which is hands and knees. So hopefully you guys can see me. So in tabletop, you want your shoulders over your wrists. You want your hips over your knees, so you're nice and aligned here. And we're going to take a few cat and cow poses. So as you inhale, your belly drops toward the earth. Your gaze lifts up to the sky. This is cow. As you exhale, you'll push into your hands and feet, round your spine up here like a Halloween cat for cat pose. And then we'll do a few more of those. So at your own pace, you're breathing in for cow. Breathing out, can you look to your knees? Cat. Inhale. And exhale. You'll feel this all along your spine and maybe even down into your hips. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. We'll meet back in tabletop. And those rib rolls that we did seated, we're going to try those from tabletop. So what I do is, as I breathe in, I drop to cow. As I breathe out, I'm going to roll my ribs around in a circle and then back to center. And I'm going to swap sides here. So breathing in, rolling up to cat, exhaling. You just keep rolling in that circle. Again, there isn't really a wrong way to do this. This is about waking up your back body. Maybe you go a little bit faster with this one. It's a little easier to move from this position. For 3, 2, and 1. From tabletop, I want you to tuck your toes under behind you. And then nice and slow, you're gonna start to float your knees, lift your hips. You'll press your hips to the back of the room. This is downward facing dog. And today we're gonna walk our dog. So what I mean by that is you're gonna pedal your feet up and down like this, like you're walking. And this will stretch out your calves, the backs of your legs, and the bottoms of your feet, your arches. We'll just pedal here for 3, 2, 1. Now as you inhale, lift both your heels at once, like you're on your tiptoes. As you exhale, lower your heels, press back. Ooh, big stretch. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels drop. Inhale, heels lift, listen close. Exhale, drop both your heels to the right. Woo, this is down dog twist. We won't stay here very long because this is hard. As you breathe in, come back to center, listen close. As you breathe out, drop both your heels to the other side. Down dog twist to the left. Just one big breath right here. Let that go. And we'll come back to center. Ooh, that was tough. Okay, from here, bend both your knees a lot. And taking your time, you'll start to walk your feet toward your hands until you're in a forward fold. And then really going really slow, we're gonna roll up to standing. Okay, taking your time. I need to change my camera. And this is the time where you grab your strap. Okay. Since this is a new camera angle for me, Mr. Parasol, I'm just gonna mess around with it a little bit. Okay, so hopefully you can see me and you have your strap. We're gonna start with our feet nice and wide, at least hip width, maybe even more. And then you're also gonna take your strap. If you hold it out in front of you, I want your hands about shoulder width apart, okay? So we'll start with that right in front of us. I'm waiting for everybody to get situated. Looks good, okay. As you inhale, you're gonna press your strap out, forward, and up until it's right up over your head. As you exhale, slowly lower your strap back down. Just getting warmed up here. Inhale, press it forward, lift it up. Maybe you look up at it. Exhale, lower your strap. This time, when your strap gets to the top, maybe you even draw it a little bit behind you, opening up your chest. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, lift it up. Draw it behind you so you're almost taking like a back bend here. And lower. Inhale, lift, listen close. When we get to the top, on the exhale, you're gonna you're gonna reach over to one side. So you're stretching your strap over to the side. Your feet stay really anchored. Your hips may wanna, move around. Try to keep your hips anchored right where they are. And as you breathe here, think about tucking your tailbone, drawing your belly in and up, and really pressing down through both feet. Maybe you start to angle your heart a little bit toward the sky. Breathing nice and strong for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back up to center. We'll take a breath in where we are. As you breathe out, draw your strap over to the other side. And then again, think about your alignment. Are you pulling up through your belly? Are you lengthening your tailbone down? Are you breathing? Right here for 3, 2, and 1. You'll come slowly back up to center. Release one hand on your strap. So now your strap is nice and loose. And I'm going to bring my strap behind me now. So you'll notice that my palms are facing away from me like this. Okay, so you're not this way. You want your palms facing away from you. Maybe I'll do it from the side so you can see from the side. Okay, once you've got your strap behind you, and by the way, the wider your hands are on your strap, the easier this will be. So let's start with them nice and wide. You'll take a breath in, press your strap down to the floor, lift your heart up. As you exhale, bend both your knees and start to float your chest down toward your thighs. That strap is going to lift toward the sky, and then really release your head here. Maybe shake your head out. We'll just breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Big bend in both your knees as you slowly roll it up. We're going to take that stretch one more time, but this time, just as an experiment, you can try moving your hands closer together, and you'll see how this feels different. Okay, so your hands are a little closer together, feet are still nice and wide. As you breathe in, you'll press your knuckles toward the earth, lift your heart up, maybe look up. And then on the exhale, bend both knees, start to lower your chest to your thighs, lifting the towel or the strap or the scarf, lifting that up toward the sky, maybe even drawing it over your head. Woo, you're really getting in your shoulders here. So just bring a lot of breath to it for 3. Maybe shake out your head. 2. 1 more breath. Taking your time, bending your knees, lifting your strap up. Your head's going to be the very, very last thing that comes up. Awesome. All right, once again, you're going to have your strap in one hand. Doesn't really matter which one. Okay, you're going to lift. I want to make sure you guys can see me. You're going to lift your hand up over your head and then bend that elbow so that your strap is behind your head, like this. Okay, then your opposite hand comes out to the side. Turn your thumb toward the ground so that your hand, like you're pressing something behind you. And then you'll bend that elbow and find the other end of your strap. Okay, once again, if your hands are wide, it's a little easier. If you want to make it a little harder, you'll crawl your hands toward each other. In yoga, these are called cow face arms, and to be honest with you, I'm not really sure why they're called cow face arms, but if you're already feeling a big stretch on the back of your tricep, you can just stay right here. This is great. If you want to intensify it a little bit, you're going to lean toward the elbow that's down. Oh boy, yeah, and you'll feel a really big stretch all along that lifted arm, your tricep, back, even down into your rib cage, and what's called your intercostal muscles. Those are the muscles that help you balance. You're stretching those out. Those don't get stretched very often, so they're very happy right now, especially if you're breathing. For 3, 2, and 1. Gently come up, release your bottom hand. Okay, you're going to bring your strap around and put it in what was the bottom hand. Now that one comes up and you bend that elbow, so now your strap should be behind your head like this. You'll extend your other arm, turn your thumb to the floor, so you're pushing something behind you. Bend that elbow until you find the other end of your towel or your strap. And then if you want, you can crawl your hands toward each other. A lot of times I find with this particular arm position, it's very different on each side. One side you might have had no problem reaching your strap, the other side is like, what's happening? So don't worry about that. Feet are wide, you can stay here, or you can bend toward your lower elbow. Whew. And again, tuck your belly in and up. Draw your tailbone down. Breathing right here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently coming out. You can release your strap and you can actually just set it aside. We will be using it later, but we don't need it right now. All right, I'll move my camera just a little bit here. Okay, I'm hoping that you guys remember Warrior 1, because we're gonna come into Warrior 1 now. So how I would do that is put my hands on my hips, step my right foot back. So I'm kind of in a lunge position here. Then my back foot, my right foot, is gonna turn out to about a 45-degree angle, like a kickstand. You're kickstanding your back foot out, okay? Then you're gonna put a bend in that front knee. And to complete the posture, your hands float up until your biceps are beside your ears. Now you're in Warrior 1, okay? From here, we're just gonna do a really easy little flow with this, okay? So as you inhale, straighten your front leg, reach up, and then as you exhale, you're gonna go to goalpost arms and bend your front knee. We'll just flow that. Inhale, straightening your front knee, reaching up. Exhale, goalpost arms, bend your front knee. Moving at your own pace, breathing in. As you breathe out, can you draw your elbows behind you? 1 more. And exhale. From here, we're going to open to Warrior 2. So your back foot turns all the way out, and now your hips, instead of facing forward, your hips are going to face the side. Okay, front knee is still bent. And for Warrior 2, your arms come out like wings. Maybe I'll turn sideways so you guys can see me from this direction. This is Warrior 2. And then we're going to take another little flow here. As you breathe in, you'll straighten your front knee. This time, arms come up overhead. Peaceful Warrior. And then as you exhale, you'll press your palms down to Warrior 2. Moving mindfully here with your breath. I bet this is like Tai Chi, in that when you're pressing and moving, you're being very mindful about it. You're not just flinging your arms around in space. You're thinking about almost like you're moving through water. Your gaze can follow your front hand, breathing in, breathing out, in, and empty. Last time. From here, looking at that front hand, you're going to flip it over so that your palm is facing the ceiling. And then as you inhale, you'll start to lift that hand toward the sky. Your back hand can rest on your thigh. Reverse Warrior. We'll just breathe right here for 3. Keeping that bend in your front knee. 2. And 1. Taking your time coming out. Between sides, we're going to take a new posture. You guys haven't learned this yet. This is a wide-legged chair pose. So again, feet are hip-width apart. Your feet are facing forward. All you do here is start to sit your hips back like you're sitting in a chair, okay? If you feel wobbly, you can stay here with your hands on your hips. The full posture, your arms come forward and up so that they're beside your ears. So from the side, this kind of looks like a thunderbolt. Some people call this Thunderbolt pose. And all we're gonna do is hold this and breathe. This time for 5, can you sit your hips back a little bit? 4, maybe you lift your toes, big breathing here. 3, extend your fingers up. 2, all the way back. 1. To come out of it, you're just gonna fold forward like a rag doll. You can actually take rag doll here, which is just opposite hand to opposite elbow. And then you just shake out your head. Let your belly be soft here, relax. This is your break. 3, 2, and 1. Take your time. Slowly rolling up. We're going to take that series on the other side. So again, starting with your feet hip width apart. This time I'm going to step back my left foot. For you guys, it's the opposite foot of whatever one you did last time. And again, for warrior 1, my back heel is going to kickstand out. Hips are facing forward. And then when you're ready, you'll float your hands to the sky. Here we are in our strong, powerful warriors. As you breathe in, go ahead and straighten your front knee. As you breathe out, bend your knee, goalpost arms. And then we just flow. Breathing in and out. Inhale. Really drawing your elbows behind you. Let's take one more. And then from here, opening up to warrior 2. So I'm gonna do sideways so you guys can see. Front knee is bent. Back foot this time is turned all the way out so that my hips are to the side. And then to complete the posture, your arms go front to back. So here we are in our strong warrior 2s. When you're ready, as you breathe in, front knee straightens, arms come up overhead. As you breathe out, you're pressing everything down, very powerful. Inhale, maybe you look up this time. Exhale, press. Inhale. Can you hear your breath? Last one. And from your warrior 2, you'll flip that front palm like you're holding a diamond in your palm. You're going to watch that diamond as you lift it up to the sky. Reverse warrior. For 3. Breathing strong, 2. And 1. Slowly come out. We're going to finish this part with one more of those chair poses. So my feet are shoulder width apart. Start to sit your hips back. Arms can stay here, or if you want to challenge yourself, you'll float them up. For 5. 4, maybe you lift your toes. 3, can you sit your hips back? 2, reach your hands up. 1, and you go ahead and fold forward. Back into that ragdoll posture. So everything's soft,
Release your face. Face is soft. Release your jaw, release your belly. You can shake your head no. And then shake your head yes. Whew. Release your elbows and then slowly, taking your time, slowly roll it up. If you haven't had any water yet this practice, I highly recommend getting a little water right now. Okay. We got to do a couple more things, balances before we hit the ground, okay? So this is it, the end of the standing sequence. Some balancing postures. We'll start with something I know you guys know, which is tree pose. So starting in your mountain, you'll shift your weight onto one foot. I'm shifting mine onto my right foot. My left foot can come right along my ankle like a kickstand. This is a pretty easy balance because you still have both feet on the floor. If you want, you can sneak that foot up to your calf. It's a little harder. You might even want to sneak it all the way up onto your thigh. What you don't want to do is you don't want to rest your foot on your knee because that puts pressure on your knee joint, which stinks because it fits really nice right there, but that's not a good place to put it. So I'm going to keep my foot on my calf today. Once you've found a comfy place for your foot, you'll bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, which is just prayer pose right in front of you. Pressing your palms strongly into each other, your elbows lift. If you feel wobbly, find a focal point, a place to look, to rest your eyes that's not moving. Maybe I'm looking at a tissue right now on my cupboard. So you focus your eyes. If you want, you can grow your tree. So your branches start to come up overhead. You can stay here or you can release your hands, opening up. Maybe today you try looking up. Really challenging those core muscles for 3. For 2. Where's your breath? And 1. Remember, we try to come out the way we come in with control. Nice job. Taking that now to the other side, you'll shift your weight onto your opposite foot. It doesn't have to be the same. If you have one side that's stronger than the other, you can rest your foot in a different place. What you're thinking about here is trying to open up your knee toward the back. And then hands come to prayer position. You can stay here. Or you can start to raise your hands. A lot of times in these balancing postures, we feel kind of panicky. Your mind can start darting around. Try to just focus on your breath. When you put all of your attention on your breath, you don't have room for that craziness. It's just your breath. Breathing in, hearing it, pausing at the top, and slowly breathing out. Pausing at the bottom. We'll stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Coming out the way we came in. And we'll shake that off. I'm feeling kind of ambitious today, and I'd like to do one more balance. I know you guys can do it. This is not something we've done before. So, picking a foot to shift onto. I'm going to pick my right foot. Shifting your weight onto your right foot. What you're going to do is you're going to float your opposite knee right up in front of you. You'll take your hand. You can either hold on to your knee or you can hold on underneath your knee, whatever works better for you. From here, you're going to take your opposite hand, the one that's not holding your knee, out to the side. And then slowly now, you'll start to open up the knee to the side. You can stay here. This is hard. Or if you really want to challenge your balance, you'll take your gaze out to the extended hand, looking right at your thumb. Whoa! For 3, 2, and 1. We'll come back in. That was tough, you guys. I'm proud of you for even trying. It's all a practice. That's why we call yoga a practice, right? Switching on to your other foot. You'll float that knee out in front of you. And then using the same hand, you can hold onto your knee or you can hold on underneath your knee. The other hand comes right out for balance. You can stay here or start to open your knee out to the side. Same option. You can continue to look forward for balance, or if you want to challenge your balance, you'll move your gaze out to your thumb. Breathing here. Woo, for 3. You got this. 2. And 1. We'll come back in and then let that all go. You are done with the standing sequence. So we're going to hit the floor now. Go ahead and find your strap. Want to make sure that you guys can see me. All right. So you'll come onto your back. The soles of your feet are on the earth. And hopefully you have found your strap. You're going to take your strap in both your hands and then release your right foot from the earth. And you're going to put the sole of your right foot in your strap. Okay? Now, you have a choice of what you want to do with the other leg. You can leave it here. This is a little easier. Or you can extend that other leg long. This is a little harder. Either way is fine, okay? So, as you breathe in, you're gonna draw your strap toward you, bend your knee. As you breathe out, I want you to point your toes, try to straighten your right leg and feel that strap against the bottom of your foot. So we'll do that again. Inhale, bend your knee, flex your foot. Exhale, straighten your leg, point your toes. We'll do that a few times. Breathing in, flexing. Breathing out, straightening and pointing. 2 more times. Inhale, draw everything in. Exhale, point. Again, breathe in. And out. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to release your left hand and take both ends of your strap into your right hand, or whatever hand is the same hand as the leg that you held up. Okay, your opposite hand is going to come out on the ground because you need that as an anchor. And then taking your time, you're going to slowly start to draw that lifted leg out to the right. Oh boy. So that's a big stretch. I'm pretty flexible, so I can get my foot pretty close to the ground. Not everybody's flexible, and that's fine. If you find this is really hard for you, you could keep your knee bent, or you could just not bring it out as far. And then same option with this other leg. You can keep the sole of your foot on the floor. That's a little easier. Or if you really want to challenge yourself, you'll lengthen that leg long. This is an amazing stretch for the back of your legs, your inner thigh. And you're just going to breathe right here, wherever you are. It's all good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. To come out of this, if your leg is straightened, go ahead and bend it back. And then use your hand, use your strap to guide your foot back to the center. We're not quite done with this leg yet. Now you're going to switch your hand. So the hand that's on the floor is going to come and take your strap. And that other hand is going to reach out to your side, okay? Actually, if you still have this foot on the floor and your knee is bent, go ahead and try to lengthen it out just a little bit, if not all the way. Because what we're going to do now, can you guess? We're going to try to draw this foot across our body. This is a tough stretch, and your foot probably won't go very far. It's not going to go all the way to the ground, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I bet you're feeling this. Wherever you are, I want you to bring a lot of breath into the posture. Okay, for 5. Don't overdo. 4. Try to rest into it. 3. 2. And 1. To come out, you'll use your strap to guide that foot back overhead. And then just gently bend that leg, release your foot. Nice job. I bet your legs feel pretty different right now. My right leg feels all stretched out and loosey-goosey. My left leg does not. So now we're going to take all that to the other side. So for me, that means releasing my left foot and then finding my strap, putting it around the bottom of my foot. So your strap is once again in both your hands. Okay. As you breathe in, you bend your knee, flex your toes, draw everything down toward you. As you breathe out, you're going to try to straighten that leg and point your toes. Inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, your foot flexes. Exhale, point your toes. Couple more. Breathing in, moving at your own pace. And out. And in. And out. Now you're going to move both ends of your strap over to your left hand, or whatever hand is the same as the leg. Your other hand's going to reach out and touch the ground to sort of balance yourself. And then you slowly, taking your time, you start to open up to the side. And some of us can open up really far, others not at all. It's all good. It doesn't matter. You're just stretching out your leg and bringing some breath here. Other leg can stay bent or can straighten out. 4, 5. 4. Maybe close your eyes, focus on breathing. 3. 2. And 1. Remember, gently coming out, using your strap to guide your leg back to the center. Once you've reached the center, then you're going to switch the strap over to the other hand. And then use your arm to balance. I'm going to extend my right foot slightly so that I have some room to start drawing my left foot across my body. Again, this one doesn't go very far. You're not moving very far. If you just manage to cross your foot slightly across your body, that's awesome. Bring in your breath for 5. 4. 3. Deep breaths here. 2. And 1. Gently guide your foot back to center. And you can release your foot. And go ahead and put your strap to the side because you don't need that anymore. We are almost finished today. Couple more things. From where you are, I want you to draw both of your knees up in toward your chest. And then wrap your arms around your legs and draw your head toward your knees. What you're doing here is you're making yourself as small as you possibly can. Scrunching up into a teeny tiny ball for 3, 2, How small can you get? 1. And now just the opposite. You're going to take a full body stretch. So your hands come up over your head, your legs stretch out long. Go ahead, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Gonna get out all that last little fidgety energy. And then your legs can stay where they are, but your arms are gonna come out, palms facing the ceiling for our final resting posture, which is Shavasana. So go ahead and get comfortable on the ground. Close your eyes. Feel your body start to get very, very heavy. So your shoulders melting down into the earth. Your hips heavy. Your legs are totally supported. Your heart rate is slowly going to come down as your breath slows. And as you rest right here as you are, I have a reading for you. It's from the book, Courage to Change. They say that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. If I learn to accept that pain is part of life, I will be better able to endure the difficult times and then move forward, leaving that pain behind me. When we long for life without difficulty, remind us that oaks grow strong in contrary winds, and diamonds are made under pressure. Shavasana. As you are, take a final deep, deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth this time and sigh that breath out. Keeping your eyes closed, gently roll to one side. And taking your time, gently find your way to a comfortable seated position. Once you're in your seat, we're going to end the way we started. Lengthen up through your spine so that your heart is over your hips and your head is over your heart. Drop those shoulders away from your ears. And feel all the room that you've made for your breath now. You'll bring your hands to heart center, pressing your thumb knuckles into your heart. May you find peace in your heart. Slide your thumb knuckles to your lips. May there be peace in your words today. And finally, thumb knuckles to your forehead center. May you find peace in your mind. Together we bow forward and say the word Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Such good work today. This was a challenging class.